Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. Are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. And if you're feeling charitable, please smash that subscribe button and that like button. And please do, if you like, follow me on Twitter at MoviesTVMad. We have lots and lots of fun. Welcome to Monday's edition of the dceu Daily. And RT Snyder Cut is back. What is RT Snyder Cut? RT Snyder Cut is a Twitter account that came into fruition about a year ago that set these promises, set the kind of conduct it expects from the rest of the Release the Snyder Cut community, which is no toxicity and just positivity on getting this cut released and fighting for the cut. They've been missing since early April. They posted, I think, yesterday American time, and this is what the account had to say. There have been many questions as to why we were absent. We don't really believe disclosing the reason is in the interest of the movement, but generally speaking, let's all try to be a little nicer to each other. After all, we all have the same goal, for WB to release the Snyder Cut. All we can say right now is that we are all very emotional with the welcome back, and we hope the admins of this account continue to be treated well. Each of us are just volunteers who give our own free time up for you. Abuse of admins is not acceptable under any circumstances, and all members of the admin team have all agreed that in event of a reoccurrence we will take similar action. We want to stress that this was just from a noisy minority, and our experiences with 99% of you are awesome. And that is all we have to say on the matter. We have no interest in calling people out or creating divides or anything like that. For 12 months we have tried to be here for all. We are here for unity, so let's get this job done united. Release the Snyder Cut. I was very concerned about their absence. I mentioned this yesterday or the day before. Now, I personally kind of qualify myself as a half-intelligent guy. I don't believe that they went away because of abuse. And if it was from a small minority, why would they? Of course, they're volunteers, but who are they volunteering for? Who is behind this account? I've always believed that Zack Snyder is behind this account, and he's got admins running it for him. That's what I believe. Why did it go away? Why did this account truly go away? Well, I have got some official news for you. Now, I've told you what I know already about this, but I'm going to reiterate the whole information. Now, what I'm going to throw at you now are pure facts. This is not speculation. I know this for a fact, and you do as well. After the big event we had on November 17th, 2019, Warner Brothers decided to start negotiating with Zack Snyder to release the Snyder Cut. Now, there was a big problem, because although Warner Brothers are quite happy to release his full cut that he's got right now, Zack Snyder wants to go back and film more scenes and fill in the gaps. Warner Brothers do not want to do this, or didn't want to do this. Now, I can exclusively tell you that Warner Brothers had recently agreed for a certain amount of money for Zack to go back to kind of do some reshoots for the Snyder Cut. Unfortunately, negotiations recently broke down on the negotiations for how much this would be. So I don't know the exact amount. I think they do want to give over 20 million, but he wants more than that. So right now, we are at a crossroads. Now, it is from what I'm being told, this is the very reason that Zack's put into motion of the return of the RT Snyder Cut Twitter account. And they're trying to inspire us to do things again. Of course, we were doing things without them very well. The only time things got toxic again was when Andy from that site was spilling a load of crap and a load of lies, and the toxicity was towards him. Now, I don't approve of toxicity against anyone, no matter what they say. But when you wave that red rag, Andy, these things happen. So basically, RT Snyder Cut are back because the negotiations are kind of stalled for now, and they want to put more pressure on Warner Brothers to give Zack the money he wants to do the reshoots, to finish the movie completely the way he wants to do it. And this debate comes back again, doesn't it? Would you like to see what he's got now? Or are you really passionate about Zack finishing his complete vision? I want to see the complete vision. I do. I think it's very important, and I think we're getting there. And even though, talks have stalled for now, Warner Brothers are interested in doing this. They know there's great money. Now, I think the problem Warner Brothers have got right now, because I think just after Justice League, right, I think from the moment they removed him from the project, they were kind of certain what they were going to do. I think they were certain from what they were going to do straight after the reaction to Suicide Squad, which is get rid of him as soon as possible, bring in Hamada from New Line Cinema, which is a sister company of Warner Brothers, and let him kind of course correct the franchise for a mainstream audience. And I think we saw that. Now, I think they're in two minds now. They don't know what to do. And I'm not talking about in terms of the Snyder Cut. I'm talking in terms of bringing him back full time to do what he was going to do in the first place. You see, after Justice League, a miraculous thing happened. Aquaman was released just over a year later and made over $1 billion. Now, Warner Brothers still don't understand why this film made over $1 billion. Their marketing tactics were no different than they were for Shazam, or Birds of Prey, or the Joker movie. The Joker movie also made $1 billion. That movie, absolutely, it's obvious why that movie made over $1 billion. Joaquin Phoenix, Todd Phillips wrote and directed a beautiful film. They were going on about the anniversary of Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame is a film with umpteen kind of prequels, right? It's a film that made a lot of money. But the difference, the analogy I use is that Joker movie made over $1 billion without about 19 films before it, and was making a very big statement about male mental health and the state of mental health in our society today, and how when we ignore these people like me who suffer with mental health problems, these problems come back to bite society on the bottom, right? This wasn't making an excuse for people like Arthur Fleck. It was saying, why aren't we helping them, right? It makes society a better place, right? So that's the differences there. So Warner Brothers are still trying to work out why Aquaman made $1 billion. You have to understand, this isn't the Aquaman that Zack Snyder was planning with James Wan. This is the Aquaman that Walter Hamada planned with James Wan. We were going to see Batman. We were going to see Superman in Zack's vision for Aquaman. That was agreed with James Wan. As soon as Walter Hamada came into play, and people say he wasn't in play then, he was. I can tell you that Walter Hamada has been in play since the reaction to Suicide Squad. It just wasn't official then, right? So they've got Aquaman that made over $1 billion. Was it because Jason Momoa was involved and he was involved with Snyder's vision? Was it because Jason was basically saying he loves Zack Snyder and that brought in the Snyder fans as well as the mainstream audience? That could be a thing. Nobody knows the reason. But there's no consistency here because Shazam made just about 400 million. Birds of Prey made less. So there's no kind of consistency to say, oh, we're much better off without Zack Snyder. And this is the problem that I can't talk. This is the problem that Warner Brothers have right now. They don't know if their Walter Hamada plan is the right way to go. I think they realise that Walter Hamada is a bright guy and he's very clever and he's making some very interesting decisions for DC fans all over the world, not just the Snyder fans, not just DC hardcore fans, but for everyone, to make more money, to get everyone involved, right? We spoke yesterday about what HBO Max is doing to kind of integrate the dceu onto their streaming service with killing the Green Lantern Corps movie that Jeff Johns was writing as a film and kind of transferring it into an epic Game of Thrones, Star Wars, live-action Clone Wars kind of TV show. So that's exciting. But the decision they have to make, and they are very undecided, and this is problematic for the DCEU franchise, cinematically speaking. They are unsure in their direction now because the movement, our movement, the Snyder movement is so powerful and so strong. But they know that Snyder isn't everyone's favourite, and the problems with bloggers and critics and mainstream audiences, they really don't know what to do. So there's these negotiations to release the Snyder Cut. That said, they will release the Snyder Cut. They just need to decide with Zack Snyder how much they're going to give him. So right now, talks are taking a break, but they will reconvene, I can assure you of that. So there's nothing negative going on between WB and Zack Snyder. These talks are ongoing. This is how filmmaking and studios in the entertainment industry work. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But they need to make their minds up. Are they going purely the Walter Hamada direction, or are they going to allow Zack Snyder to finish his vision? Now, of course, there's another way of having your cake and eat it here. They can do what they did with Jeff Johns and say, you're not having the Green Lantern movie. We want you to make the movie into a long-running kind of high-core, high-vision, high-concept TV show. They could say this to Zack Snyder. We want you to continue your vision via our streaming service, starting with the Snyder Cut, while we do our films. That's very interesting. Because we're already getting a Superman TV show with the Tyler Hoechlin one on the CW, but we're going to have Superman in the Snyder Cut. So potentially what I'm suggesting here, and there are rumours of this, and they're thinking of this, is that Snyder's vision will be brought to HBO Max. So we could have Justice League 2, Justice League 3. That entire vision could be completed on HBO Max and still part of the DCEU, while the plans that Hamada is coming up with are released cinematically. So what I'm talking about here is Shazam 2, Wonder Woman 84, the Flash movie, Black Adam, the Supergirl movie, Batgirl. They could still be going to cinema while Zack's plan is integrated on HBO Max. Now, what that would do is that you could have people happy there and people happy there, but the DCEU all of a sudden is a more exciting prospect, both in cinematic terms and in streaming terms. It's very similar to what Disney are doing with Marvel Studios, with having Marvel offshoot stuff on Disney Plus, and then have the cinematic stuff, and it's all part of one universe. So I think these are all the negotiations that are happening right now, but I want to know what you think about all of this. Could this work? Could you have Zack's vision being fulfilled on HBO Max while Walter Hamada's plans still continue cinematically? I think there could be a great conglomeration of talent here, and I think this would really, really, really work. Comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with even more DCEU Daily. See you again soon. Bye.